UPSL Port St. Lucie, the talk of the Treasure Coast.
It's time for Comfort Time Live. Comfort Time Live. Comfort Time Live is a live call-in radio show where you can help discuss air conditioning, heating, energy saving, indoor air quality, and dealing with contractors. Comfort Time Live. And now, here's your host, your personal comfort consultant, tackling all of your home comfort issues. Here he is, live on your radio and the World Wide Web. Here's Tom Platania.
All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another. Hey, come on, let's keep that applause going. Come on, let's suck it up while we can. Raise the roof. Aren't they supposed to like slowly phase out? You have.
I gave him a cut.
Oh,
sign.
you gave him a cut.
If
sign.
you're watching
okay.
on the webcam, you'll see I went cut, and our studio audience is very obedient.
There you go. There you go. What Mr. Desmond's talking about is if you have a computer, either that thing that was invented by Michael Dell or any of those other guys, Mr. Hewlett's Packard, you can go to www.comforttimelive.
Is that one word with no spaces?
All one word, no spaces. But if you're on your third or fourth martini, martini,
want another martini?
If you're on your third or fourth martini and you happen to haphazardly type it in, the first 4 pages of Google are going to pop up Comfort Time Live.
If you're using your iPad or your Android phone, you push the little microphone and you say, ComfortTimeLive.com.
And you know what? Siri will probably understand you quite.
Yeah. You have your long lost co-host on the show.
Yes, here on Comfort Time Live years ago, we had a special, out of all the co-hosts that we've had, which has only been 2.
And he was just
He
released
was probably
today.
my second favorite co-host ever.
Yeah.
Out of 2, he was my second favorite co-host. And
oh, okay, out of 2.
No, I'm just teasing. Years ago, ladies and gentlemen, if you've been listening to Comfort Time Live, you'll know this individual, you know the voice. I want to welcome back to Comfort Time Live, Mr. Randy Dunn.
Thank you very much. I got real live applause.
You did.
Don't cut it off. Keep it up. Keep it up. Sounds like bacon frying.
Well, there's 3. Somebody out in the hall walking by clapping.
All right,
hey, let's go get that homeless guy outside.
I can't count any higher than 3, so don't anybody else clap.
We'll get the homeless guy outside. We'll have him come in and clap for you.
Gather up all your change. We'll have him in here.
Yeah, right.
Give me 50 cents, I'll clap.
I see he's scaring the sign, I will clap for food.
Or Randy. But it's good to be back. I've been gone for a while. Still have a real job, but Tom was nice enough to reach out to me and invite me back.
I've been inviting him back for a while, but he just seemed to have all these excuses. I got to wash my hair.
Yeah, I actually went through a severe weight loss.
Yes.
Severe.
He did.
Yes,
he's
he's
now
180 pounds.
Randy Bicepanega.
Well, no, it's just I'm not in that relationship anymore, so I lost a lot.
That's right. Yes, you did. Well, actually, both of us lost a lot of weight.
A lot of weight.
Over relationships?
We are as Saturday Night Live with Dan Aykroyd and
John Belushi.
No, Dan Aykroyd and
Steve Martin.
Steve Martin.
2
wild and crazy guys.
That's right. Yes, an oldie but a goldie. Yes. So anyway, I don't know if you still do this, but I would like to say hi to Dad, Mom, Jake, and Barb.
Absolutely. I don't have anybody to say that to
They're all at
anymore,
the bar watching, right?
Yes, they're at the bar watching with their
big
TV
screen.
bricks because they don't want to do any damage to the TV.
Well, as you know, ladies and gentlemen, Comfort Time Live is the call-in talk show, 772-340-1590. We answer your questions, anything to do with your house. We specialize in heating, air conditioning, indoor air quality, dealing with contractors. However, any question you have, we have a panel of professionals standing by. We can give them a call after the show, have your questions answered, and then on the next show, We can discuss those questions live. And that's what we're going to be doing today on the show. We actually had quite a few emails come up, emails for different things. And one of the biggest emails that I've received this week was on the decision to repair your air conditioning system versus replace the air conditioning system. The summertime is coming. We're going to start getting, today we're up to about 82, 83 degrees. And this is when, people say it's been running okay for the past 3 or 4 months. Well, it probably is going to run okay for the past 3 or 4 months.
Yeah, right.
Because it's kind of like me running versus you running. Okay, you're the one running the past 3 or 4 months. Just kind of a breeze, no problem. You're just chugging along. Now it comes to me. Now I start running, and I'm like,
but
I'm struggling.
Right. And now, why is that? So far as the air conditioning, why is it like that?
Well, because as it gets hotter out, there is a bigger demand on the ability for the air conditioning system to do what it needs to do. Outside temperature is one of the biggest factors in the ability for a system to run and to function. And in actuality, when you have the efficiency rating, which is called the SEER rating on your air conditioner, the temperature outside changes your SEER rating. It'll make it go up or go down. So when it's cooler out, you'll actually have, let's say you purchased a 16 SEER system. It's 78, 79 degrees outside, and you're running that air conditioner. Well, because there's not as great of a load outside on that air conditioner, it potentially could be running at about 18, 17, 18, 19 efficiency. If someone were to actually go out and check the wattage based to the output, just a special program.
And now I have a quick question or just a quick observation. Before I got into this industry, I thought air conditioners cooled the air, but air conditioners actually remove humidity.
Exactly. Humidity and heat.
Yes.
Exactly. That is exactly it. And that's one of the reasons why when we talked on the show about local code enforcement for permitting now require that a brand new load calculation be done on every single solitary house that has an air conditioner replaced. And the reasons being is because construction has changed. People do remodels to their houses. They change windows to their house. And all these things factor in. And what happens, though, is, and I actually had this happen with a client who, over the past 10, 15 years, had a couple air conditioning systems put into his house.
Mm-hmm.
So the first air conditioning system was done when the house was built, okay? Supposedly the proper size. Well, 7 or 8 years later, he decided he wanted to replace it. Said it wasn't running as well as it should. So the next air conditioning company comes in, says, I'll up it a half a ton for you. Okay, so another 10 years goes by. He's ready to replace the air conditioning system again. He forgets that he upped it a half a ton before, tells the new air conditioning company, who's a different company, this thing just really hasn't been running right. Well, of course, the air conditioning company doesn't do anything to check the load calc on it. And what do? They up it another half a ton.
Wow.
So now you have a house that has over a ton more of air conditioning than it should. Well, what's happening now? Well, they never replaced the ductwork.
Wow.
And they've gone a whole ton of air conditioning more. So when you have so much air, the ductwork is designed for that. Now what you've done is you've increased it a ton. So basically you're trying to push a golf ball through a garden hose.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah, good luck with that, So and then you end up creating a bigger problem than what you had originally. So now that's why they require load calculations. Unfortunately, a lot of these air conditioning companies are faking the load calcs. They're basically saying, well, this is what's in there. I'm just going to do a load calc that matches what's in there and be done with it. And it's really not the right thing to do.
Yeah, it's still a disservice.
It is. It's a disservice. But that's what a lot of these companies are doing. So, one thing that I suggest is when when you do replace your air conditioning system and the company tells you that they do a load calculation on it, ask them to see the physical drawing portion of the load calculation, as well as the page on it that shows what the house is made of. So you can look at it, because and I do load calculations for the industry all over the United States. I have people calling in and they send me them load calculations with all the information. So I do them on a professional basis. And there's a page on the load calc that actually says the house is made out of CBS. It's got stucco outside. It's got 9-foot walls or 8-foot. I mean, so it breaks all this stuff down. So this way you'll know that it's your house and that it is the correct one.
Yeah, they're just not cookie cutting it.
Exactly, and that's what a lot of people do. Companies do. I know there's companies down in Palm Beach. They do. They actually have it's a very large company. They have 3 girls that do all the load calcs and the permits. If you're installing a 3-ton 16-SEER Carrier product, they actually have in their computer saved a 3-ton 16-SEER Carrier load calculation.
Generic, so they just put
They
in different
just
homeowner
click it, put the
name.
homeowner information in, and send it off.
Wow, that's incredible.
The guys never do one measurement or any check on the house while they're out there. But
That's a shame.
unfortunately, that is why, as I say on the ads, $3.2 billion a year are stolen from homeowners because of companies like that and unlicensed contractors that just take things at granted.
It's an epidemic.
Exactly. Well, hey, happy belated Easter to everyone. I hope everyone had an absolutely great weekend. What'd you do, Mr. Randy?
Went to church and visited Dad. And and
Church on Easter Sunday? What's up with that?
Yeah, I know. I am not one of those CEOs, though, the church Easter only crowd.
Oh,
I
you're
go-
not?
I actually go to church every Sunday.
Oh, you do? Oh, okay.
But yes, I did that and spent time with my family. How about you?
I was a CEO that weekend. No.
You were? Wow. I wondered what that mushroom cloud was up in Vero. You walked into the church.
That's why I got really cold out that night.
I thought they were lacing up skates downstairs.
No, I actually, with my 17-year-old daughter, who, and touches my heart that she's like this. She obviously lives with her family in Sebastian. No one in her family up there goes to church. Not one of them. My 17-year-old daughter, on her own, by herself, every Sunday and Wednesday, goes to church.
Good for her.
And she said, Dad, when I was going through some issues, and she said, Dad, she says, I would love for you to come up with me on Easter, and I'd love to you attend church, and you and I are going to spend the day together.
Did she make you wear the little rabbit ears?
No, I actually dressed up very nice in a suit, even though people at her church are very casual. So there was people in flip-flops with socks
Wow.
and shorts.
Wow.
But I dressed up with a suit and everything.
They probably thought you were a visiting pastor or something.
Possibly.
Could be. And not that not going to church is a bad thing. It's not. It's just whatever's for everybody. So we're by no means judging anybody.
And trust me, is just because you go to church doesn't mean you are.
Doesn't get you any points, does
Doesn't
it?
Doesn't get you any points. Actually, it's
I know
what
a
you
lot
do
of people that go to
outside
church
of
that are
church
worse
that
than people who
matters.
don't go to
Yes,
church.
It's what you do
So,
outside of church that matters.
Amen. Oh,
Yes.
I
So
heard
anyway,
that.
I'll get off my soapbox.
No, but then it was a great thing. Then we went and walked on the beach for a couple hours. We went and sat at Mulligan's up there and listened to the music, and we just had it was probably one of the best Easters I've had in as long as I can remember.
Good for you.
And it was awesome. So I hope everybody else had a great Easter, and I hope it was a perfect day for you. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about, we got a sheet here that's kind of a good reference point to help you kind of take the opinion out of repair versus replace. You're listening to Tom and Randy on Comfort Time Live. We'll be right back.
Elite Electric.
We can do it.
Elite Electric.
There's nothing to it.
Elite Electric.
Ooh, amazing.
Elite Electric.
Boogie, woogie, woogie, woogie.
Elite Electric specializes in all of your electrical needs, from security lighting to surge protection and everything in between. How do you think they got their name? Elite Electric. Elite Electric has been family owned and operated on the Treasure Coast since 1988, and they're recommended by Comfort Time Live. Visit online at eliteelectricandair.com and learn more about their services. Elite Electric. Service today. Proud sponsor of Comfort Time Live every Thursday evening at 6:05 on WPSL 1590.
No matter what you want, just pick up your phone, say, come on, Elite. And we'll get the job done. We can do it.
Elite Electric.
There's nothing to it.
Elite Electric.
$3.2 billion per year are stolen from unsuspecting homeowners who lack the proper education to deal with home contractors. Hi, I'm Tom Platania with Comfort Time Live. Comfort Time Live is an independent call-in talk show focused on educating homeowners to protect themselves from unlicensed contractors as well as less than honest contractors. Go to ComfortTimeLive.com to see all our recorded shows, watch us live, or view tons of information to protect and educate yourself.
Every Thursday evening at 6:05 on WPSL 1590.
Manning the webcam and the chat room at ComfortTimeLive.com. Once again, here are the hosts of Comfort Time Live, Tom Botania and Randy Dunn.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for still listening. And staying
Thanks
live.
for not
Thank
shutting
you
off your radio.
We
We
appreciate
sure
that.
appreciate that.
Yeah, hopefully you've kind of relaxing. You know, it's what time we got? We got about 6:24 here. WPSL. We're having a great time. We're educating you folks. We're trying to have a great time in the meantime, because you know it's kind of like watching Jim Cramer talk about stocks all day. You know, if he just had this mundane voice and just kind of blabbed about it, you know what? It would be absolutely boring and people wouldn't watch. So he kind of mixes it up and.
He does. He's definitely not boring.
Oh, absolutely not. See, that's what we need. We need to get those sound effects from Cliff and put them on the board so we can, you know.
Well, once Cliff grows a third arm, I mean, he's doing everything he can right now.
Yeah, there you go.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Well, you
Am
know,
I back home? I usually hear that at home.
Greg and Carol can, you know, you only get what you pay for, you know, the quality of producers that you have. So, you know, it's
Well, what do you want? Do you want somebody to stay with you? Or do you want...
Yeah, right?
no. Cliff
Yeah.
has been with me since day one of the show, and he's really helped. He is
welcome.
part of the success.
I can't believe his back doesn't hurt from carrying you.
Yeah, well, you know, somebody has to.
Well, you know, it's
especially
hard
the
to
heavier
walk.
I've gotten.
I just got to say this, you know, it's hard to move around when somebody's sitting on your coattails.
Very nice.
All right, so don't forget the web, Comfort Time Live. Yeah, www.comforttimelive.com. And, you know, Randy and I, between the two of us, Randy, you have how many years experience in the industry?
23.
23.
How many do you have?
I have 26. So 49. Did I add that right? Is that 49?
I'll bet you if you
Sweet.
count the
26
months too,
carry
there might be
one.
there's probably a few months in between there, so you could say 50.
Yeah, we could
50
say
years
50.
That's so
The difference
combined.
is Tom has 26 years experience. I have 1 year experience 23 times over.
There you go.
It's like Groundhog Day.
Yes.
Every day it happens
Yes,
over.
I know what you mean. They don't call it Hades where I work at. It's just a different place with fluorescent lighting.
So basically, between our experience, we have almost as much experience as you are old, right?
Carry the one. Yes.
Subtracted, divided by, multiplied.
Pi.
the
Ooh, now I'm
circumference
hungry.
pi.
You said pi.
All right, well, let's get to the topic of the day. Now, remember, 772-340-1590. If you are anywhere in the region of possibly thinking about a repair versus replace, give us a call. Tell us what your situation is, and we're going to kind of walk through some topics. If you have a pen and a piece of paper nearby, I want you to grab it, because we're going to give you some guidelines with some numbers, okay? And you're going to write these numbers down based on the information we provide, and it's going to kind of tell you if you should consider a repair or a replacement of your air conditioning system. Now, obviously, the repair is if you have a problem. But this is also going to tell you if it's getting up there in age, and there's some other situations here. It's also going to tell you maybe you should start looking. And the reason we say start looking is because is it better? Let me ask you this, Rain. Is it better to be under the gun and have to make a decision, or be able to have time to think about the decision, educate yourself about the decision. You know.
Usually, my experience has been is a forced decision is a bad decision.
Yeah, and I know I've made a couple of those.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Every day. But anyway, yes, you're right.
I've made a couple. So, and you know, and that is the exact reason that con artists and unethical companies, and that is how they thrive. And I'm gonna use a couple examples this evening as we're going down through this. So the first thing we want to look at is we want to talk about the age. So now you're going to write these numbers down that I give you, and at the end you're going to add the numbers up, and we're going to tell you whether that number tells you should consider replacement or repair or not. Okay, so the first one, we're talking about the age of your equipment. If your air conditioning system is 0 to 5 years, well, you're going to give yourself a 1. That's 1 point. If your system is between 6 and 10 years old, you're going to give yourself 5 points. If your system's 11 to 20 years old, you're going to give yourself 10 points. And if you are over 20 years old, congratulations first off on having it run that long.
Lots of good service.
But you're going to give yourself 20 points for your system. Randy, what about the estimated cost of repairs?
All right, on estimated cost of repairs, if your estimate is less than $100, you're going to give yourself 1 point. $100 to $500, 5 points. $501 to $1,000 is going to be 10 points. Over $1,000, 20 points. And this is not golf.
Yeah.
Right? So the higher the number, the worse off you are here.
So as you get up into my golf range, you definitely should replace your air conditioning
definitely.
system. Now, the repair is if somebody's going to come out and tell you that, and not only tell you, they have to show you for a fact that there is a problem. Okay, now, there's only about 4 components, 4 components, 5 components. No, 4. 4 components in the system that could possibly be over $1,000 to replace.
Exactly.
Okay, depending on the fan motor on the inside, it could be close to $1,000. Some of these special variable speed fan motors today
ECM motors
are
XLTs.
exactly, because of where you work. I mean,
Yep.
the cost is just outrageous.
Yep. And in a different show, we can talk about that. A lot of those are very susceptible to the voltage spikes that we have in this area.
Yep. And something like that would recommend, we'll talk, a surge protector will
Exactly.
really, really help that. So surge protectors are not a bad thing if they are the right type of surge. I think you guys are like a Supco. I think a
Exactly.
Supco's a good
Supco's
one.
are very good.
Yeah,
Very
and
good.
they actually have a guarantee. I used to, when I had my company, I had a Supco surge protector, and they actually offered a guarantee that if the system failed, and the Supco surge protector showed that there was a spike in the system that failed, they'd actually give the homeowner up to $1,000.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, so estimated cost of repair. So the four things that would be over would be the fan motor on the inside of the air handler, the evaporator coil, which is in the air handler, that would definitely be over $1,000. The compressor outside, if it failed, it would definitely be over $1,000, probably closer to $2,000.
Right.
And the condenser coil outside, if it had a leak in it, it would be over $1,000. So those are your 4 major components. Now, obviously, the next thing is the repair under warranty.
And that's tricky. The part might be under warranty, but chances are the labor may not be.
Exactly, and typically after 1 or 2 years, depending on the system you have, there is no labor covered at all unless you have an extended warranty. Me, in the air conditioning industry, I believe in extended warranties wholeheartedly.
Definitely.
They're different than electronic TV warranties and stuff because in some cases for less than $80 a year, you are 100% covered. Now, it's not like these home warranty companies that are scams, okay?
No.
The home warranty business is nothing but a money-making machine, and you are the victim, okay? So get out. What these cover is everything. You don't pay even a trip charge for an air conditioning company to come out. There's no fine print. There's no, if the coil breaks down, it's only covered up to $300. It's 100% of everything is covered. All right, so if your repairs are under warranty, If yes, they are, you get 0 points. If they are not covered, you're going to give yourself 5 points. Now, how you're going to know that is obviously you're going to have to look at your warranty on system. Some of your older systems that are probably 10 to 12 years old most likely only had a 5-year warranty on them. Some of them got into where they had a 10-year parts warranty. But even though the part was covered, you're still paying for all the labor, all the refrigerant, and even a compressor that's covered under warranty could still cost you upwards of $800-900 because of 4 hours of labor, 8 to 10 pounds of refrigerant that's running at about $50 a pound right now.
Exactly, and that it's only going to get worse.
Oh,
With
yeah,
R22
is
only going to
gone
get
through the
worse.
roof.
And also, I've seen contractors put line items on their bills so far as refrigerant recovery fees, miscellaneous fittings. When they go out and do a warranty call, they feel that they're not turning a profit, so they will do what they can to generate a profit.
Right, absolutely, yeah. Because on those type of repairs, they don't get any money back from the manufacturer.
No.
The manufacturer says, "Here is the compressor. That's it. There's nothing else covered." So if they went out and replaced that compressor, basically, they're going to lose money on that. You can't lose money on a job. You got to be in business.
No, I'm not saying. I'm just saying
Yeah.
to be informed.
Oh, absolutely,
When you hear the
absolutely.
word warranty, you think, "Hey, I'm covered." So I understand these businesses have to make money. It's just our job is to inform you as the consumer.
Yes.
Warranty does not mean everything's covered.
Yes, exactly.
So-
But with an extended warranty from the manufacturers, everything is covered. Labor, refrigerant, every little part and piece and everything. You pay nothing.
Yep.
All right, so let's look at SEER rating. What do we got SEER rating here, Randy?
Alrighty, 14 SEER and over, you get 1 point.
Okay, which is good.
That is good.
14
That's
SEER and over, that's
very
good.
11 to 13 SEER, you're going to get 5 points. 8 to 10 SEER, you're going to get 10 points. And 5 to 7 SEER, you're going to give yourself 20 points.
Okay.
So those are much older units.
All right. Now, and something else that you want to consider, if you know what your air conditioning system was when it was first installed, for every year, according to Florida Power and Light and a couple other companies, a system typically loses 3% of its efficiency per year.
Wow.
Okay? So if your system originally was a 12 SEER and it's 10 years old, well, you need to take about 30% of that efficiency off of there, and that's going to give you your true number. Okay, what about the type of refrigerant that's used? We have 2 types of refrigerant out there right now, and it's not Freon. Freon is a name that was given by DuPont. The old refrigerant that was, as of 2010, right,
Correct.
was told by manufacturers that they can no longer produce air conditioning systems with R22 in it, which everybody calls Freon. Now, as of that time, the new refrigerant is called R410A.
Correct.
Certain manufacturers have tried to trademark it, like Carrier. Carrier calls it Puron. But they did a good job because when I talk to a lot of people, they all say, "What about that Puron stuff?" Well, Carrier did a good because
very
they
good
actually
job.
had it out 5 years before anybody else did.
Yep. They did a very good job.
Yeah, it's so. And you've noticed, being in the business that you're in, that those prices have actually just completely flipped
Yeah,
around.
completely flipped around. The R22, like I said, is through the roof. It's liquid gold. If you have an R22 system, you definitely need to already start thinking about replacing that.
Yeah, I mean because you're I think in like 1 6-month period of time, it almost doubled or tripled.
Exactly. It's almost tripled. And February this year, I forget the organization, but my point being, they accelerated the shutdown in production of R22 by 60% further.
And that just blew the number
Yeah,
through the
it
roof.
went. So literally, I came into work on a Friday. The R22 was this price. I came in on Monday. It was a 60% increase over the weekend.
Wow. So that means that if you have a leak in your system or something has to be replaced, it's going to cost you a lot of money. You could be looking at pretty much $500 just for the refrigerant alone. So if you have the new refrigerant, you're going to give yourself 0 points.
Yep.
If you have the old refrigerant, you're going to give yourself 5 points. Okay? Now, the next one, this one's kind of more of like an opinionated, I guess you would say, an opinion.
Yes.
You can ask the technician is out there, or you can kind of make your own evaluation. And one would be, do you think the system's in good shape? Does it look in good shape? I was at a house the other day. The system was 10 years old. If I did not know the system was 10 years old, I would think that it was less than 2 or 3 years.
Wow, that's great.
I mean, the inside, and he had a beautiful 5-inch pleated filter underneath this unit. It was sealed perfectly. There wasn't a speck of dust on the fan blade. The coil was still glistening. I was just absolutely amazed.
Wow,
and
pristine.
Somebody came to him, and we'll take a break here in just a second, but a company from down south who we've talked about on this show before, okay, came in and told them, oh, you got a leak. You got to replace this system. Granted, the unit was 10 years old. So the customer says, oh, well, where's the leak? Oh, well, my leak detector's not working. There's something wrong with the settings and whatnot on it, but it's in this coil right here someplace. And, well, the coil is going to cost you over $1,500 to replace, so you should just go ahead and replace your air conditioning system.
Wow.
Well, he thought that sounded a little fishy, and I'm glad that he did, because most homeowners, because that's fear factor, that's what most homeowners would just go, okay, go ahead and replace it. You're the professional. Go ahead and replace it. This guy didn't. We came out. We did a leak search. Guess what we found?
No leaks?
No leaks.
Wow, that's amazing.
No leaks. And this was the one that was in absolutely pristine condition. And I told her, I said, listen, yeah, it's 10 years old. Should you start considering replacing it because of efficiency and refrigerant? Absolutely, you should. However, I'm not going to tell you to replace the system because of a leak that doesn't exist.
Exactly.
Okay, so if it's in good condition, you want to give it a number 1. If it's in average condition, yeah, maybe a little corrosion, a little bit of rust, not too bad. Give it a 5. If it's in fair condition, you see some noticeable corrosion. When you open up the air handler, you see, a lot of debris and stuff in there. Coils kind of dirt. Give yourself a 10, or the last one's in just poor condition. I mean, just absolutely, you'll know the difference. So you give yourself 15 points. Okay. Now the indoor equipment condition, basically same thing.
Same thing.
Same thing.
Good is 1, average is 5, fair conditions 10, poor is 15.
Right. Okay. So now the last one is, which is very important, is do you expect to stay in your home for any period of time? If you plan on staying in the house less than 2 years, give yourself a 1. If you plan on being in the house between 2 and 5 years, you're going to give yourself a 5. If you're going to be in the house between 6 and 10 years, give yourself 10 points. And if you're going to be in the house over 10 years, you're going to retire in there, you're going to raise your family, you're going to give yourself 15 points. Okay? And what you're going to do is add these all up. So if you have any questions or concerns, give us a call, 340-1590, if you have any questions about these options. Now, what we're going to do is, before we go to a break, or actually right after we come back from the break, I want to have you folks take your pen and paper again. And when we come back, I'm going to go down and I'm going to pick kind of an average of what I see out there from most homeowners, so that you can tell whether you're going to be on the fence and which way you're going to lean. You're listening to Tom and Randy on WPSL Comfort Time Live. We'll be right back.
Known for helping you keep that spark, now they'll help you keep cool. Elite Electric and Air, the official air conditioning sponsor of Comfort Time Live, has provided the best in heating and cooling customer service since 1988. If your electric bill is costing you more than 12 cents per square foot under air, you may be overpaying the utility company. Elite Electric and Air can help put that cash back in your pocket. Call Elite Electric and Air with 24-hour service. Dial 340-3797. That's 340-3797.
$3.2 billion per year are stolen from unsuspecting homeowners who lack the proper education to deal with home contractors. Hi, I'm Tom Platania with Comfort Time Live. Comfort Time Live is an independent call-in talk show focused on educating homeowners to protect themselves from unlicensed contractors as well as less than honest contractors. Go to ComfortTimeLive.com to see all our recorded shows, watch us live, or view tons of information to protect and educate yourself.
Every Thursday evening at 6:05 on WPSL 1590.
This is WPSL Port St. Lucie, the talk of the Treasure Coast.
.643 at WPSL now. Back to Comfort Time Live.
All right, we're back, ladies and gentlemen. And do not forget, you hear it on the promos, Elite Electric and Air. I tell you, the John and Dave and those guys over there, personal friends of mine, absolutely great individuals. I tell you, I could not ask for a better person to come to your house. John, ethical individual. He will do the right thing, even if it doesn't put money in his pocket.
That's great. And, we talked a long time ago when I first got here. It's about building relationships. I mean, of course, I know that these people are in business to make a living, to turn a profit, but it's all about relationships.
That's it.
You have to do what's right, what's fair.
Customer service has gone away. It's almost non-existent today.
Exactly.
And it's both of our faults. Mm-hmm. It's the business's faults and it's the consumer's fault, because some of these consumers have put themselves in a position to force companies to be like, you know what, like the people that want everything for free, even that they don't deserve it.
Exactly.
So it's not just one person's fault, and that's kind of what I'm writing my book about. Is the death of a customer, and the death of a customer in the service industry, it goes both ways. Both people have put themselves at fault. So, and don't forget, you go to ComfortTimeLive.com and you can replay the show. And if you missed any of the numbers or whatnot, you can replay the show and you'll be able to put the numbers to figure out, well, should you repair?
And sometimes your first impression of these categories or your point ratings may not be right. You may add it up, listen to what you say is average, and then you can go back and go, wait a minute, maybe that wasn't a true guesstimate of the condition of my system.
Exactly. So I'm going to kind of go down what I see in the industry typically. Most of the systems that we come across are going to be between 11 and 20 years old. All right. Now, if we're looking at units that start breaking down, those systems actually will start breaking down between 6 and 10 years. So that's the one that I'm going to choose. We're going to choose the one that your air conditioner is between 6 and 10 years old. So we're going to put 5 points down. I'm writing that down here. And your job, Randy, is going to be to add that all up, because I really can't add very well. So estimated cost of repairs. All right, so the technician comes out, and let's say it's something minor. Let's say it's not no calculators. You got to do this in your head, Randy.
My head is empty.
All right, so we'll do this. So there was 5 girls standing at the bar, okay? Now, the next thing is that the repair was between $100 and $500, so you get 5 points, all right? 5 more girls walked into the bar.
So far, none of them talked to me, so I'm not interested.
All right, so anyway, so $100 to $500 is a repair. Now, that's a simple repair. That's maybe a contactor or a capacitor or something along those lines. It's not a major repair, okay, just a basic repair. Is that repair under warranty? Well, if it's 6 to 10 years, most likely it's not covered under warranty. So we're going to give ourselves a 5 for it not being covered under warranty. Now, what's the efficiency? Well, if the unit is 6 to 10 years old, most likely, what would you say, 11 to 13?
I'd probably go 8 to 10.
8 to 10. And the reason being is because even though 6 to 10 years ago that system was maybe an 11 to 13 SEER, it loses 3% efficiency every
Exactly.
year. So we're going to say that that unit is between 8 to 10 years old, or excuse me, 8 to 10 SEER, which is your seasonal energy efficiency ratio, which is like gas mileage in your car.
Exactly.
The higher the number, the more efficient, the more energy it saves you. Now, if this unit is between 6 to 10 years old, it has the old refrigerant in it, the R22.
Exactly.
So we're going to have to put another 5 points on that. All right? Now, outdoor condition. I'm going to be generous on this. I'm going to say it's average. It's
Okay.
not good. It's not fair. It's right in between. It's an average condition for its age, which gives us 5 points. We're going to put the indoor unit. It's average condition. We're going to give that average condition another 5 points. Well, statistics show that people stay in their homes an average of 7.5 years.
Wow.
That's the average. So, on our sheet, we have a section that says 6 to 10 years. That's what we're going to put in there. So, that's another 10 points. So, we're going to add up 5 and 5 and 5 and 10 and 5 and 5 and 5 and 10.
That's a lot of girls at the bar.
That is a lot of
They
girls.
must
at the
all be
bar.
blind,
That
'cause
was like
none of them have come
Riverside
over
the
and
other
talked to
night.
me yet,
And then
so.
you left, and they all walked over
Yeah,
to
right.
me.
I left. They went, oh, well, the short bus is gone. We can go talk to Tom. So anyway,
So what do we come to?
we came up with 50 points.
50 points. Okay, so in our scoring range, if we were between 0 and 35 points, we would only want to make the repair. If we were between 36 and 50 points, it's questionable. So we're still leaning
We're on
on
the
that fence.
Yep.
Still leaning on that fence. If it's over 51 points, absolutely you want to consider replacing that air conditioning system. So with the 50 points like we did, so you can tell that we weren't trying to overcalculate this
No.
or anything, we're still on the fence. So then you're going to have to make your educated decision at that point and say, okay, how have my electric bills been? Have my electric bills been going up higher than they should? If your electric bill is more than 10 to 12 cents per square foot, you need to consider replacing your air
Definitely.
conditioning system if we're doing this chart.
Exactly.
Okay? And these charts can be, now this is a chart that's from Carrier. So if you have a Carrier deal locally, or actually you can give me a call and I can actually make a copy of this and send it on to you. I might even be able
There's
to put it on
50 girls at the bar that want this.
I might even be able to put it on my website.
Right.
So, but it really helps to give you, now on the other side of it, they have some things that are like red flags that we call, and things that you want to look at. Are there any airflow problems?
Like a room that's too hot, too cold.
Exactly. Duct leakage. Give Florida Power and Light a call. For $30, Florida Power and Light comes out and does an inspection of the ductwork. And they will tell you if you have leaks in your duct system that are accessible. And if they are, when the air conditioning system is replaced, code says that the contractor must seal any duct that has at least 30 inches clearance around it before the inspector comes out. Now, they play their Vegas gamble
Mhm.
that inspector is not going to crawl his well.
Well, we just know there's a problem with people not carrying ladders, contractors and other
Yes.
folks sometimes.
A lot of times the inspectors are not going to go in the attic and check the ductwork, and a majority of the air conditioning contractors are going to play that card, and they're not going to seal your ducts. Why do you think years ago, for that very, very short period of time, that the government of Florida and their complete debacle had that duct seal program that lasted about 3 weeks?
Yeah, right.
Because one of the number one loss of efficiencies in your air conditioning system is through your duct system. The leaks and gaps and cracks and holes, and we complain that the air conditioning system is not, so we want to increase it. Well, I guarantee you, if you went and sealed the duct system properly and made it the right size, the air conditioner would probably cool better than it's ever cooled before.
Right.
Just because a house is brand spanking new does not mean that the ductwork was sealed properly.
Oh, no.
I've seen some horrific homes that were brand spanking new that they it was haphazardly sealed just to pass a basic inspection, and everything fell apart. So you want to consider that. Any noises? Do you have any odd noises in the system? There's certain air handlers. If the ductwork is restricted, the supply is too small, returns too small. Some of these variable speed, these air handlers with special motors on them, they'll sound like a freight train.
Yep.
And the reason is because the motors are designed to reach a certain amount of airflow. And if there's a restriction, they say, I don't care.
Yeah, I'm still going there.
I'm going to push through it, and I'm going to ramp up. And then it just uses more and more and more and more energy to do it. And eventually the motor burns up, and then you got to replace. And then if you have a lot of fan motor replacements, but it'll be very noisy, sound like a freight train. Okay. Some of the other things, what do we have here? Changing refrigerants.
And that's, that goes back to
That's
how old your
huge.
unit is, because that is going to happen as sure as death and taxes.
Yep, absolutely. There's nothing that's going to change. The only thing, just like Randy was saying, it's going to be escalated.
Yes.
And I heard the rumor that the reason it was escalated is because manufacturers tried to slick willy the government by manufacturing equipment without refrigerant in it to be able to get away with that.
Yes, it's called a nitrogen-charged unit. So what they do is, briefly, the air conditioner is cost-effective, but it's shipped without refrigerant, which means, okay, there's just a little nitrogen in there to make sure the lines are pressurized. Then when you, as a homeowner, purchase that unit, they come out, you think, I got a brand new air conditioner, great. And then you get hit with, oh, what do you mean I need 10 pounds of refrigerant or some refrigerant at $50 a pound?
Yep.
So anyway, back to your point, the manufacturers were getting around the loophole. They weren't shipping units that had the refrigerant in there, so
So it was legal.
It was legal.
It was legal, and that killed because they started losing money left and right.
Yep.
They started losing money left and right. So it just everything got changed. So you really, that's one of the biggest considerations. If you have the old refrigerant and you're teetering, you know what, you really need to go in that direction. But talk to your qualified, get a couple different opinions, some good companies. Do your research. Don't just go by, well, the company's been around for a while, they must be okay.
Yeah.
There's companies down in Palm Beach, down in Boynton Beach area, that have been around for a long time. And you know what? All they're doing is burning through new customers. They hardly have any repeat referral customers because all they do is burn through one customer after another, after another, after another by lying, cheating, and stealing them. So do your research. Go on ripoffreport.com. Go on betterbusinessbureau.com. Put in the air conditioning company's name and put so-and-so company reviews.
There
And
you
you
go.
will be amazed at what you can find on these companies.
Yep.
Even the people that come out, put their names in the Google.
really.
You know, just like if you put my name in Google. Go ahead. Put Tom Platania in Google. See what
Oh
pops
my gosh,
up.
the internet just
You'll
crashed.
probably never watch the show. I'm teasing. No,
Yes, he is. But you're right,
you'll
Tom.
never find one bad thing on the internet.
And that
about
is a
me.
good thing about the internet is, first of all, you can do your own research, but second of all, you can give your feedback and be a proactive member of the community and warn those, hey, if you had a bad experience, go on the internet, post it,
Yep.
and you can help eliminate
And that's what
further occurrences.
ripoffreport.com is that people can actually go on. Unlike Better Business Bureau, you can actually read the physical complaint with the company
Wow.
if you go through ripoffreport.com. Is the unit cycling on an awful lot? That's a good inclination that the system's starting to have a problem. Have there been problems with comfort in the home? Have you noticed that you're getting more humidity in the house? You're getting more hot and cold spots in the house during certain times?
And back to cycling, another thing is you said the unit coming off and on a lot. Is it tripping a breaker?
There you go.
That's usually a sure sign that worst case scenario, the compressor's starting to go out.
Yep.
Now it might be a contact or something like that, but if it's tripping a breaker, you got a problem.
Yep, absolutely, because it's drawing way too much power. The breaker can't handle it, but also sometimes the breakers can be getting weak.
Yep.
But they're getting weak probably because the amperage is being drawn too high.
Exactly.
Yep, absolutely. They have all kinds. A surge protector, back to that, that is definitely a good thing that you want to consider, especially with the power fluctuations and whatnot. The great thing about the right kind of surge protector, those little dinky things that get put on the side, I don't believe in those.
No.
You need a good, robust surge protector that what it does is it monitors the fluctuation of power into the unit. And if it goes too high or too low, it'll shut the unit off for the few seconds or minutes until the power equalizes back out again, and then it'll turn the air conditioning system on. We used to, when I was manufacturer's rep for Trane, we used to almost give those to the commercial guys because three-phase equipment is even worse.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I mean, really bad. So it's worth its weight in gold. You could probably, get them from a contractor for maybe $150. But I tell you,
it'll pay for itself.
It'll pay for itself for the parts and pieces. It'll help save capacitors and contactors and compressors and fan motors. That's probably 70% of the reason. And you guys you see it all the time. That's probably about 70% of the reason that these things fail.
Exactly. A lot of shorted items.
Yeah, a lot of shorted items. So, so just a few other things, and then we have, since the house was built, has it been remodeled? There's something else that you want to consider. I had a house the other day. They had redone all the windows in the house, put double pane, high impact reflective windows in. They put brand new doors in that were the ones with the blinds in between.
Oh, yeah.
They added insulation to the house, and then they wondered why the house seemed more humid and it wasn't cooling properly anymore. Well, I redid the load calculation. They had a 5-ton air conditioner. It was barely a 4-ton air conditioner.
Wow. Yeah, because they had done such a good job.
And insulating the house.
Insulating the house, they increased the efficiency of the house without increasing the efficiency of the air conditioner.
Absolutely. So you want to have these things, ladies and gentlemen. You want to range your factors. You can always give us a call. You can always call me. Call me directly. I have no problem with that. My personal cell phone number, I have no problem giving that out on the air. It's 772-882-5700.
That's the same number I saw on the bathroom wall at the bar.
Exactly.
I Googled that number and, well, never mind.
It said for a wise man, call 772-882-5700. If you want to find out whether you should repair or replace, give me a call. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for listening to Comfort Time Live tonight. And Mr. Randy Dunn, I really hope that you come back.
I think I'll be back.
Never again. I mean, no, come
Never
back
again,
again
yes.
and again and again.
Thank you for having me back.
I appreciate it, man. I really appreciate you being here.
Wow.
And
It's
Mr.
nice seeing both of you in here.
Yeah, I
Sounds
like the
good.
camaraderie back and forth. Them and I get along good. Get along good.
You're doing pretty good.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for listening to Comfort Time Live. Don't forget to give Elite Electric and Air a call for all your electrical and air conditioning needs. We'll be back next Thursday. Have a great one.
And this is WPSL Port St. Lucie. Comfort Time